We probably need a new YouTube thing.
Okay. You know how to do that?
No. I don't. I don't know.
Faulty equipment stream.
I don't know how that's working. As I said,
Okay,
go
well,
live.
something's going. So something's going. Hang on. Faulty equipment stream.
I don't know how that's working. As I said,
Okay,
go
well,
live.
something's going. So Okay. Give me a second. Just want to go and post it. There we were playing. YouTube.
I just need to get my bearings. Okay, so it made a new stream by itself.
Absolutely. Okay. Now we got to get everyone who's there over here.
Okay, I will share the new
hang
video.
on, yeah, they're coming back in. Here's the URL for YouTube.
Oh, I need to add Gideon. Next.
Hello. Hi.
I think we're live, by the way, Gideon. There's hardly anyone's here.
You are live. You've been live for 1 minute and 42 seconds. Everything.
You fucked this up so badly.
No, listen, my crap all fucked out, and my router. I can't.
It was Julius. He fucked you up, dude.
Oh, okay. Hang on a sec. So I don't even know how many people are tuned in anymore, or what's.
Well, let's wait for everyone to catch up a little bit. Where's the third of the threesome?
Listen, how bad's my connection? How bad's my audio?
El Presidente fucked up the ordering here because she put me in the middle.
I don't know how to change things. Come on, this is like. Wait, let's see.
There we go. Now I need to think of a new name for today. Throw him out again.
I'm not gonna. No, I can't get my number. I'm going to be next to Gideon.
Oh, dear goodness. Well, Gideon's got to play a double adapter.
I shall. And everything is going wrong that can go wrong. So I might leave the studio and come back at some point. We'll see how this goes. Like, we're supposed to have a super serious. Like, Marika, do we have anyone watching this at all?
Yes. Time? Rick's here.
Right? It's 38 people.
Wow.
Hey, come on, this is my first time. I'm just going to kick you and never let you back in.
Okay, you're just gonna hijack the channel. That's all good. So
yes.
Her hotness choked on her vodka whilst you were out there, right? And it created a comment storm. Well, it did in my mind because I'm the only one who saw it. It was so funny. You all should have seen what she was doing in the green room. It made me embarrassed. I blushed. So full red. Well, Gideon, every single time you freeze now, we're going to worry that you screwed something up again.
Well, listen, I'm on 7% cell phone. I can't plug it in because I'm on 3G. I'm not even on rain. Everything's a nightmare in the stream. But yeah, let's just see if I can come back. Let's see if I can come back from where I was.
I'm disappointed in you, Gideon. Very disappointed in you. I mean, it's like once a week that you have responsibilities. It's just once a week. Once a week when people are depending on you for a nice wind down after the week, and they want to come here and show up and just be entertained, and you're keeping the people just waiting, and then excuses, and then poor quality.
I know.
You do realize that you've completely voided your entire crux of the argument tonight, because you've taken the opportunity to illustrate to us how you would have actually been better off without a PC at all, completely and utterly. You would have been better off sending fucking smoke signals or a dude on a horse to communicate with it.
So here's what I've got, but I've got tier 1 equipment, and it failed. Aha.
Again, I'm not calling your shitty Apple knockoff fake tier 1 anything. It's like the Taurus of computers.
Well, to be honest, and I'll tell you a story about Taurus, apart from the fact that they're under new management now, which is a good thing, because it would have been really shitty if they carried on the way they were. And I don't think my internet is going to come. I think I'm going to be on the cell phone for the rest of the evening.
Okay. Let me put you off. I have a single malt, by the way. Just talking about tier 1.
No,
I have homemade vodka. It doesn't get more elite than that.
I like that. Homemade vodka.
I think my major problem is Octatel has done horrible things to me. Yeah, I'm
Pay
sorry.
your bill.
Many of you in the comments work for Octatel. Yeah. Hello, Robert Depria. It was awesome meeting you as well, and I'm glad I sold you a laser cartridge you liked. And I see all the usuals are here as well. Brian, why did you post the link in the private chat to the YouTube?
Because I was trying to get it to Marika so she could send it out.
I got it from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yeah, but I was quicker than you, and you just didn't see it.
Well, that's bad presentation on your part.
Absinthe. Why didn't you try absinthe instead of vodka?
Because she's not a teenager.
Because I've got this much vodka left to go.
Okay.
So I want to finish the bottle, and my bottle of absinthe is still like
My
full.
computer's working. Wait a second.
It's
I can enter the studio. Oh, they can.
We just need to be able to make it, they can point something in its mouth.
There we go. This is
what
so much
happened?
nicer.
Oh, that's much better sound.
What did I do?
You just froze.
I froze. Okay, so now,
then we were going to draw a dick going into your mouth, but you came back too quickly.
please don't do that. That would be scoring.
Funny.
Okay, so we're supposed to have the super serious discussion about I don't know, shitty guns. So since we Marika is our gracious host, I'm the patty in the middle, and Brian's a piece of bread.
This is like the best. You should.
You can mute me.
I can
No,
mute you.
I should never have given you this power.
Okay, whilst you two are fucking around, I want to answer Robert Crawford, who's apparently lost respect.
Are you sure you want to answer him?
Enjoying
So,
it.
Okay,
Robert, I haven't
where's-
moved away from Maker's Mark, right? I'm just not going to only have Maker's Mark. Life is about exploring all things, not just being blindly faithful to that single one thing. Okay, I still like Maker's Mark. It's not a zero-sum game here, right? I am
But now
allowed to
you've-
like
now
other
you've,
things, except Vector
released the
61s and
Kraken.
TZ75s.
Show us the Kraken by Bracken or what?
Ooh, Ben
Oh, I can
Bracken,
show-
Kraken.
I can show comments like from Gentle Inflatables. That's pretty cool. I didn't know I didn't know I had the power to do that.
Let's see if I can do it.
I can mute Marika. I don't know how that happens.
We've got double
We've got the power.
rights.
Poor
Yes.
Sam, poor Brew.
It's the
He's
singularity.
been rejected by
universe
someone
is-
again. He's got cock in.
But I can unmute myself then. If you mute me, I can unmute myself. So
I
it's
know. We've
gonna be like
it's interesting abuse of power. So, okay.
Jesus, you two sound like Cyril's cabinet.
Yes, okay. We're half an hour late. Apologies to everyone. It's all my fault. I had tremendous I had all the technical problems that were possible. I'm not going to bore you with what they all were, but they were all of them. I had all of them. So, yes, Brian.
Just like hardware problems and software problems, performance issues, user error.
Yeah. So, exactly. So, user error being fundamental to it. But we wanted to talk about shitty guns. Okay, well, not so shitty guns. So let me tell you my side of the story. Okay, so reliability being Brian's big battle cry, which is a pretty damn good battle cry, because when it comes to guns, reliability is pretty fundamentally important. But I also don't worship at the altar of it has to be. No, let me rephrase this. That certain brands are inherently unreliable. Like Taurus had a terrible reputation 8 years ago, and deservedly so. But if you look at their new stuff, since they've had a change of management, it definitely appears that their quality control has hugely improved. I would not buy one myself because I can actually still at present miraculously afford something slightly better than that. But I think a huge amount of people in SA are economically constrained that they would really like something that they could carry for self-defense. They can't afford anything really top tier. But now, before you carry on, but there are certain brands that fill that niche. And I still believe if we brought High Point into this country, it would sell really fucking well and it would do okay. It would actually, yes, Brave Fitness.
Just answering a question.
Yeah. So without trying to sound, it's not like we're encouraging people to walk around with Lawsons. The Taurus spares situation is really good. Actually, thanks for asking this question, Rick, because I was sent the spares sheet by the agents. They have a fuck ton of spares. Because that was my first major concern is, okay, cool, you brought all these guns in. Do you have the spares for them? They do. And if they run out, they can get very quickly more. So the spare situation is, and this might piss some people off, I think it might be better than the CZ spare situation. Probably not as good as the Glock spare situation. Definitely better than the HK spare situation by a long shot. So, yes, Brian.
I just wanted to emphasize it's better than HK by a fucking long shot.
Yeah, the space situation for a fact. So, I mean, if you had to look at Taurus, and I hope one day if we get to talk about High Point, that definitely fits a specific section of the market where it's reliable enough to the point where it's not just going to fail. Well, it's unlikely to just be a shitty gun. And it's also demonstrated to work and comply with minimum safety standards. It's not a Lawson. It's not a Victor CP1, thank God. It's not a fucking Tokarev. And it's not a whole bunch of other things, which is good. Terminal ballistics wise, if it's shooting a 9mm Parabellum, it still outperforms a 38 Special snub nose, which I get. If that's all you have and you're proficient with it, you'd want something better, but there's a whole bunch of people that don't have the option of getting something better. And that's where my whole argument of is it a shitty gun or is it an elitist argument thing? Because there is some nuance to the whole story. And this discussion will get more interesting the drunker I get. And Rick is true. Like the Demolition Ranch fucking torture test of the High Point. I mean, Mareike, I don't know if you've seen that, but he shot a High Point with another High Point. He shot the High Point on the chamber and he cracked the slide and it still worked.
Okay.
That was
I'm sorry, I can't let you go on uninterrupted here because this is not what the discussion was about, right? Our entire discussion was founded on bad pistols. Now, I'm sorry, a high point, nor a Norinco are bad pistols. They are not inherently bad brands.
No.
A High Point is a fucking reliable pistol that I would be quite happy if that was my only pistol. Those are not the guns that we were discussing at all.
No.
Right?
No, we were
Okay.
talking about that Luger copy, but I didn't say it was a shit gun. I mean, sorry, let me rephrase this. I didn't say it was a good gun. It was, and it was a gun that's flawed in a caliber that you'd prefer to upgrade on. But it was my whole attitude is if you're stuck with something like that,
okay, and that's also
for whatever
not
reason,
100% true where we're going, right?
Yeah.
So let me just take over the mic here. Mr.
Go.
I have the power to mute you. Okay.
hang on. I just continue.
Okay, you may speak.
Okay, sorry. We're done. We're
Fuck
done
with
now.
me, El Presidente. It'll fuck you up there. Okay.
No, she
You're
did
going to
that.
mute me midstream, aren't you, now, Marika?
No,
I
she
can,
really
I
did.
can just kick you and permanently mute you and not let you back onto the stream.
Okay. So
That doesn't work on me.
where we were going was
I can't
was
remember, but yeah, but we need your wisdom. Talk.
so you were talking about that little Hungarian PPK knockoff.
I think it's
being-
Hungarian. I'm not even sure if it is, but
whatever it is,
Might be.
right? It's, I mean, as the only two brands of PPK that were any good were the Walter and the Manhudron.
Mm.
Okay, and even that good was a very marginable fucking thing.
Yeah.
I suppose one could argue that they were good at their time. And the issue that we had around that one specifically was that this is going to make me so dizzy. Was that you extrapolated one person's ability with that to everyone would have that inherent ability, and then you based your concept that, oh, okay, I'm, a really shitty, fucked up piece of crap gun like a CZ75 or that Hungarian Walter is okay. It's better than no gun, based on that one person's ability to run that gun well. And my
Okay.
point on that was, you are completely and utterly wrong, because that was R's ability and it's based on his training and his experience. It's got nothing. He would be equally as good with a Lawson.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he would be better with something better. This is the thing.
And my point is that he would be better off with the piece of shit gun than no gun. But he is not general average shooter. General average shooter is not going to train to his level. General average shooter is not going to invest the time, effort, and energy to get piece of shit gun to marginally functional. General average shooter is going to put that in the safe, take it out, put it in piece of shit leather holster. And if it doesn't shoot them in the leg, it won't, because general average shooter is carrying fucking empty chamber.
But in
okay?
which case,
If it's a pistol.
general average shooter should be better off with a pointy stick anyway, because
Exactly my
regardless of
point.
what they have. So it's not really the
Exactly
gun
my
that's the problem.
Point, right? Reliability is everything. If you ask me right now, categorically, you go back to Iraq, wherever, or Afghanistan, and I'm going to give you a high point to go and work with. Sure, not a problem. I would go and work with a high point. It's a fucking reliable. It shoots a decent caliber. I know it's probably not going to break down on me any more than a Glock would, right? Or an H&K would. It's going to run just fine. For that matter, Norinco 216, or wow, you fucking spoil me a lot and give me the Norinco 1911 copies, because they are fucking good. They are really fucking good. Okay? Well built, work brilliantly well as far as 1911 design capacities go, for brilliantly well. But the point is that you give Joe average shooter the Makarov and say, this is your gun, right? Or that Hungarian piece of crap copy, or CZ75. No, I'm joking about that one. Let's take that out to avoid the hyperbole. But if you give Joe Average Shooter the Lawson and say, this is your gun, this is all you have, Joe Average Shooter is going to put it in this and say, I'm awesome, I've got a gun. I'm fucking Death Star, mate. No one can fuck with me. I don't need to do jack shit. I've got a gun, and it's a good gun. No, it isn't. A piece of crap, and you would be better off with a pointy stick.
So here's something that Marika can maybe add some wisdom. But then Joe Average Shooter should also stay away from something like a CZ Shadow.
Yes.
For the simple
or
reason.
1911, for that matter.
Yeah, because
how many times? Sorry, how many times have you gone to the IDP Gay range or the IPSC range, and you've seen Joe Average Shooters? I'm not talking about the dedicated sport shooters who think everything about themselves, and they're so awesome because they can run gun games like Mareka. But I'm talking about
Mareka runs proper.
I'm joking about Mareka. I'm not joking about the gun commandos. Okay. What I am saying is Joe Average Shooters 1911 fucks out all the fucking time. You'd be better off with no gun than Joe Average Shooters 1911 that's not cleaned and doesn't work.
Okay, so no, I'm with you on that. I'm going to shut up for 5 seconds.
That's why Joe Average Shooter should buy a Glock, because it's pretty much the only thing that eats through Joe Average Shooter's incompetence.
I'm pushing my pen into Mareka's ear, but it's not quite okay.
That's not what I like going into my ear, but thank you.
Brookie, I'm just joking. I like ditching on the CZ75s. I know it's
Brian is always angry. This is such a valid comment.
I have 3 kids. I've got to always be angry. If I don't show that I'm always angry, they will eat me a fucking alive. You've not met my kids. Okay, they would make Osama bin Laden cry.
I have to admit, though, that walking into your house is a little bit like walking into a horror movie set where, like, the feral children have eaten the parents and they kind of like blood all over their face, and there's a desecrated corpse in the one room, and you just hear that violent shrieking, like chee chee chee. It's quite bad. You're a great advertisement for people who are very committed to having children. I think you should be on the front page of Time magazine.
Yeah,
Brian May, the pinnacle of the nuclear family. But
it's just a joke. I love my kids. Gideon's exaggerating horribly. They're actually very well behaved.
Yeah.
They are incredibly well behaved.
But they will still eat Brian alive. I mean,
they might.
Kind of
that's
true.
all because they're alpha personalities. But yes.
Okay, but now I kind of said my thing. I'll say more about the thing later. But El Presidente needs to tell us about guns. So shitty guns, non-shitty guns, like what would you define as a shitty gun?
Something that jams every second shot. Actually, at least once a magazine would qualify as crappy, because that's not something that you want.
So most 1911s then?
No, in all the years that I've shot a 1911, I've had maybe like one.
That you've shot it. Go and take the average.
I don't care about the average. I just care about my experience. I've had more misfeats with my Baby Eagle than with the 1911.
So Baby Eagle's a crappy gun. I'm joking. I'm joking. I know it's not.
It's a cute gun, and it can still kill you.
Any gun can kill you.
Even if you hit somebody with the butt of your pistol.
Any gun can kill you except anything in 2.5 caliber. Right? Baby Brownings can't kill you. All they do
that's
is
That's the other thing about that we forgot. So there are a whole bunch of really interesting calibers that people still buy stuff in. So we're talking about like 32 ACP and smaller. Okay. Now, because I think once upon a time, many moons ago, a fair number of handguns were made in these calibers, because I suppose the engineering wasn't there to make a really compact gun shoot like a 9mm cartridge. I don't know. But what is the terminal ballistics on those things, realistically?
So, in terms of terminal ballistics, right? A lot of those really small, underpowered, marginal calibers, that comes down to shot placement. Okay, and you only really get to. It's kind of like this analogy. So during the Second World War, at one stage they had a program. Just bear with me. It's a little bit of a story, but it's not going to be too long. During the Second World War, they had the program where they looked at all of the fighters and bombers coming back, and they were looking where all the damage was. And they
I
said,
remember this. Yes,
we've got to armor that, or we've got to armor those places. They're taking hits. Until someone pointed out and said, no. Those are the places you don't need to armor. Put armor everywhere fucking else, because that lot's coming home. So obviously, right, they those areas are not the problems. So terminal ballistics with those sort of sub-marginal calibers are really, and I'm talking about true terminal ballistics, not playing around with gel and pig fat and shit like that. Okay? They're usually determined by autopsy. Now, autopsy is kind of a misnomer because it's always the investigation of the worst fucking scenario, isn't it? Okay, you don't autopsy a live fucking person. So you're not worried when you have a live person on your trauma table in worrying about the terminal fucking ballistics insofar as it doesn't affect stopping the bleeding and keeping the person's chest going up and down. Who cares a fuck about terminal ballistics then? Okay, so it's a submarginal thing here. So let's rely on anecdotal stuff. I mean, there's anecdotally, and yes, I know there's so much weakness with anecdotally evidence, but fucking it's entertaining. So dude dancing in a nightclub, whoa, going at it. He looks at someone's fine ass. He says, "Oh, that's awesome." He goes and he gives it a pat and a feel. And then he feels this pain fucking somewhere in his neck and he rubs it off. 4 hours later, he goes home and he says, "Oh, someone shot me in the fucking neck with a 2.5 caliber or whatever piece of shit pistol that they have." Right? Guy's still walking around and he got shot pretty much close to point blank range with this piece of shit fucking pistol. And he didn't even realize he got shot. Now,
did that actually happen?
That actually fucking happened. I can give you the name of the nightclub off air as well. So
that's interesting. So yeah. you got shot with a what?
With a .25 something. I can't remember. I think it was a Lawson 2.5 automatic. I think it was a Lawson. Whatever it was one of these little dinky toy pieces of shit.
Donnie. That is a flippin' cool story.
And then he got treated in Gray's Hospital. Anywho.
Well, now at least know what town it happened in.
It happened in Maritzburg. Sorry, I thought I'd said that.
I think you may have. I probably...
It happened in Maritzburg, early 90s. Right? And there's a whole bunch of things, right? It's like... Yeah, it comes back to the whole...
Interrupting you quickly, you carry knives these days, and Donnie actually you said something about getting a knife and becoming proficient with it as a important step in the whole personal safety, personal defense thing.
Donnie said that on me, because I've said that a few times.
You said it. He's kind of going around that same pattern of thought. So
even the most shitty 2.2 gun, sorry, just bring this thing. Even the most shitty 2.2 gun is better than fighting with nails in the teeth, right? Yeah, even the most shitty 2.2 gun, the 2.2 is by no means the worst fucking caliber for self-defense. Okay, 2.2 long rifle is fucking metrically yards better than 2.5 or 32 ACP or something like that. Okay,
that's actually what Hannes just said. Like 2.2 ACP, 2.5 ACP is worse than 2.2
by fucking metric yards. And one of the reasons for that is the capacity of the round itself, but primarily is because there's been a lot of investment in reliability in 2.2 fucking platform pistols. Now Marika's so bored she's doing her hair.
No, she's flirting with Graham in the comments section.
Okay.
They need to get a room.
Yeah. You know what? We should have Jay on and he can speak about some of those stories.
I'm just going to leave that there.
But you know what? There's been a whole metric shit ton of investment and reliability on 2 long rifle platforms. There hasn't been on 0.25 or 32 ACP because who fucking cares about that sort of thing? And, you know, Jay is 100%. And like I just said, Jay, we really need him on the show here. Jay, you can wear a mask or something so the cunts you work for don't fucking take it out on you. But because they're just a bunch of fuckheads. But was it called Crowded House? No, it wasn't. Sticky Fingers was an epic place, by the way. The locker room was crap. That was only for fucking yappies. Who cared about them? Okay, real people hung out in the underground or at Take 5. Just by the way, Graham. Okay, coming back to this.
I can't remember what you're trying to say.
I can't either, but I'll just wing it, right? So we're going back to sharp, pointy stick, and it being you know, better than nothing. And I'm sorry, a sharp, pointy stick, a fucking knife, a fucking committed attitude, and a whole bunch of fucking pissed off person is better than a lot of really crap guns. Lawson's anything in Lawson, but Lawson's right. They're coming in for the hammering. But anything in 2.5 caliber, anything in 32 ACP, because they're just fucking pointless. They are pointless, utterly fucking stupid, pathetic. But people still carry them, and in their fucked up belief that they now have something decent and reliable. And yes, we will have some person say, "But my gun is so epic, so awesome. Never ever lets me down on the range." Well, number one, fuckhead, come and do a combatants course with your gun and see how long it fucking lasts. Okay, and number two, that's your fucking gun. When we talk about the platform of those guns in general, they are shit. They are fucking worse than shit. They are worse than useless. Hence my point. I'm sorry, but not all guns, not any gun is better than no gun. It's just not. I'm not saying you only have to go for Glock. I'm really not. What I am saying about Glock is it's the most
reliable. You can buy a Taurus.
Pistols, right? I don't like Taurus particularly. I don't believe that they have a good reputation for reliability. And I'll stick with that. Because as much as you say they've improved their situation now, that's fine. But the vast majority of Tauruses for sale are not the Tauruses from now. They're the Tauruses from the fucking very long time period when they built shit, crappy piece of shit guns.
Well, the only Tauruses we've got are the new ones.
That's you. That's CHS Guns who pride themselves on quality. And yes, if you buy a Taurus from CHS Guns, you will be backed up. I know this for a fact. Even if not by the manufacturer, you'll be backed up by the people who work there because they have integrity. Okay? Which is important.
Backed up can also mean constipated.
Well, yes, it can. But once you've had the prune juice, okay.
By the way, Canik, from what I've heard, is pretty awesome.
Canik is, I know. Listen, anybody who turns around and tell you Canik is not a top tier gun, Canik is a top tier gun. Fucking end of fucking story. Canik I put in the same category as CZ or Glock. No, I don't put. My jokes about CZ aside, they are a top class fucking producer of firearms. Right? You will never ever ever sell yourself short by buying one. Right? Canik is right up there in that. It really is.
I forgot now what I wanted to say.
Canik is far better bet than a Taurus.
Yes.
By a metric mile.
I'd actually like to compare the two from a reliability point of view, but that'll take time. Because
I will put money on the Canik.
I think the Canik will do exceptionally well. No.
I'm sorry, it's like the POF firearms. And we kind of had the same debate about, the POF MP5 is not a real MP5. Well, fuck off and die it is, right? It's made under license to HK
with Heckler & Koch's tooling.
Yes, right. It's an under license copy of the MP5. And, I used them in Afghanistan without a fucking problem at all. And I don't
know if Marika is laughing at me dying.
Say again?
No, I'm not paying attention to you.
Yes, Reynard, you had a Taurus for the S&W, and it was a fantastic gun. I'm sure it was in your perception of it or with your experience of it. That's not to say it is inherently a well-built gun. You could have A, got lucky, B, be one of the few people who actually takes care of your shit. Okay? There are a whole myriad of other things that happen to a gun once it becomes yours. Okay, sure, there are some inherently bullshit fucking thing, like that 38 special made by Arminius. German produced.
Oh,
one
God.
would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, German produced, right? One would think highest quality standards. Except a fucking pewter piece of shit who's barrel cracked after 600 or 700 rounds of 38 fucking special, and it's barrel cracked. How fucked up do you have to be as a gun manufacturer to manufacture a gun that can't last 500 rounds of 38 fucking special? You got to know that you're a special type of fucked up there.
Well, that's kind of where the Brazilian Rossies do kind of do
You said
well.
Brazilian. I have a Brazilian.
Are you going to show us?
No.
Please don't.
Rossi's
by
so
the way,
great.
but they actually are. They actually are pretty decent. My
They
only
don't
issue.
hurt nearly as much as a Brazilian.
Mic drop.
Can she show the Brazilian? Let's have a vote.
Yeah, but we'll have to do our Pornhub channel for that one. Because YouTube. So, couple of interesting things that happened this week. Before I get to Jay's comment, which is where he's talking a lot of sense. I'll just leave it up there for a bit because I want to quickly transition to something completely fucking different before I go cough my lungs out. Hang on one sec.
Sorry, can I just speak? Can you bring that up, Jay? You're 100% right. Okay, except Gerson wasn't prepared to fucking fund the holidays for what's that colonel who Republican Arms took him on the fucking skiing holiday in Italy, right? And then the other one who went and sold the taxpayer on the Republican Arms pistol. Oh, sorry, that was him. The RAP 401 was the ultimate answer to fucking law enforcement pistols, even though the entire task force told him, hey, listen, that's a piece of crap and its firing pin keeps on breaking all the fucking time. Yet another example of no gun being better than the piece of shit you're stuck with in your hand. RAP 401, whatever. Okay.
By the way, if you can get anything in 45 ACP for 1K and it's not well, you've got it and you don't want to carry it for self-defense, buy it.
Yeah,
that's no
hobby
money.
Gun, play gun,
hobby gun.
Sure,
get it.
Sure. Listen, 45 caliber is fun to shoot. 45 ACP, it is fun to shoot. It's got this sort of really low recoil impulse. When I say low, I'm not. It's strong, but it's slow. It's perceptibly slower than a 40 S&W. Okay, 45 ACPs are super fun to shoot.
I'm just going. What is Marika doing to the brew in the comment section?
We don't want to know.
Have you made him tap out?
The brew doesn't like thumbs up bumps, but he brought it up, and I just embarrassed him. So. You know, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen.
It was that.
Don't let her wear the strap on.
By the way, I'll own this. I do love my USP. Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say you do love having a thumb up your bum.
Yeah, but then it'll have to be two because I'm a colossal arsehole. You know. No, there was that.
Are good guns.
You can have an entire fist in.
There was this whole thing. You remember there was this okay, you wouldn't remember, but it was Marcus Gronholm. Hang on. When you did fucking rally stall with hang on, I need to find this to play for you. Just carry on talking while I'm Googling this quickly. Because
so
we're
you
talking
like
about
the fist of it, right? That's what we were saying. No, you said the USP was a good gun. Yeah, it is a good gun, right? But which gun do you carry, Gideon? Let me answer for him.
I
he carries his Glock 19, right? He has 2 USPs, if I'm correct, right? He also has 2 Glocks, I think. But he carries his Glock. What does that say? Mister, he loves USP, and he does, and it is a great gun. Still carries his Glock. Why? The Glock is easier to carry. It's more ergonomic to your lifestyle. and it's inherently more reliable.
It probably wouldn't feel too bad if he lost it.
That is true.
Ergonomic
That is
to your
actually
lifestyle. It's
Marika
ergonomic
actually.
to your lifestyle. And that's a
It
really
is.
important point. It doesn't encourage you to emotionally invest in a platform, because as soon as you emotionally invest in a platform, you lose your subjectivity, right? So your objectivity.
Yeah,
And you become fixated on this, my gun is better than any other gun, or whatever it is. It becomes about the gun and not about you. Okay?
And on that note, just hang on. You need to see this.
What's going on here? Oh, someone's screaming. Timo's in agony. You can see him lifting himself out of the seat. What on earth is going on? Well, he's still carrying on. You have to stop because it came some stone or something through Timo's seat. Up in the ass of Timo.
What did they do to Timo Glock? Did someone shoot at him?
No, they I just liked his expression where he goes up in the asshole of Timo. Because we were on
Anyway,
the topic of some.
I have no idea what
thank
your
you.
search terms on are that pops up in your feed.
Oh, there's my Siri is wild, and she speaks an Irish accent. So
Does she know?
yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Okay. My dear
I'm
Lord,
gonna-
they've gotten into a whole bunch of anal
What
sex
is
in
the weather in Edinburgh? Hang on. She's not talking. Oh, she's
Probably
not talking.
no.
She just displays things now. She doesn't talk anymore. Well, that's not fun.
That's because you're
God damn
teasing
it.
her about her accent. She's a
Yeah, but
snowflake, Siri.
Anyway, it's
Ask
actually
if
top of the
Donald Trump
morning.
won the election.
But it's exactly how I like waking up in the morning is when the alarm goes top of the morning to you, all me lucky charms. And then I want to throw things at the wall. Does Caracol still exist? I don't know.
They had huge quality control issues,
Yeah.
right? And
Big
to
time.
be fair, Caracol had the support of like one sort of mainstream shooter, right? Sorry, maybe two or three. It was not a lot, but they had no test bed in terms of having a good carry culture in the area it was manufactured, right? So they have to ship everything over to the US. They have to break down the sort of natural inhibitions that exist in that market, and then get feedback back from that market to develop their product, right? They were destined to
They were sadly.
I'm sorry, you can't make a carry pistol in the UAE when no one fucking carries.
This is true. And that comes down to Alan's question. Like, it depends what you want it for. Self-defense pistol, pin shooting, probably going to do better with a revolver and a really high caliber. If you want to go hiking in the Appalachians and you're going to get attacked by a mountain lion, get a 357 Magnum revolver.
If you want something that looks fucking awesome, get a revolver. Because I'm sorry, there's few things that look as fucking good as a Colt Python.
A wheel gun.
Yeah,
wheel guns are.
Colt Python specifically. I mean,
that's exactly what happened. 7 X-ray 49 Golf Juliet Whiskey or whatever the fuck that is.
That's Isco. Hello, Isco.
Isco. Sorry, it's
Isco
I thought
from
he was coming
Finland.
on tonight.
Finland, and Marcus Gronholm is his countryman.
Country.
You
He said
see,
country. I
yes.
thought Ed was coming on tonight.
No, Yed is already busy day drinking. But it's my fault. I make Jedward drink, because we're kind of business partners. But that's a long story
Yeah.
for another stream.
Yeah, I won't
hang on.
carry I have single malt. Whoops.
Gideon, are you drinking?
I am, but I need a refill.
No,
okay.
not a Ruger. Colt Python.
Okay, I just need to drop one last thing before I go refill. When
Fuck,
people
not
say
your
wheel guns, not my pants or my pen or my microphone. When people say, remember when you used
Stop
to do
your
this shit
attitude.
in school and it looked like
Olympic.
so no, I did not do the things at school that you now think I did. That didn't happen.
Yeah, because
If we
you went
played
to
hockey,
office.
Ja, daar het ander dinge gebeur in Affies.
Well, yes,
Of,
I'm very sure a lot of very
Yeah.
fucking hedonistic, perverted shit happened at Affies.
Well, not to me. It was highly disappointing. It always happened to someone else. It's quite sad.
Yeah, I know. I went to Catholic school and fucking all I got out of it was a lot of time in church. No time with the fucking choir boys.
God damn it.
No,
So-
exactly.
So when people say wheel guns are obsolete, I mean in the modern defensive point of view, not for that myriad of other uses where revolvers are still very much relevant. I think that's the problem with these discussions. And of course, if you like wearing, and I'm being mean. I just like pissing on the IPSC and IDPA people for fun. I mean, I don't have an inherent problem with anything they do, but the bowling shirt people don't like wearing. We're like running revolvers for some reason.
Well, here's the thing about revolver, right? When we talk about ergonomic to your lifestyle, ergonomic to your training methodology, etc. No matter how beautiful they are, and they are, no matter how inherently nice they are to shoot, and they fucking are, it's just far easier to train a pistol than it is to train a revolver, especially if you're training as you should be training. I'm not talking about sports training, because clearly I know fuck all about the shooting sports apart from, they wear bowling shirts and it's not particularly fun when you want to excel unless you have Mareka with you. So I'll let her speak to the shooting sports part of it. But when you want to train to keep yourself alive, revolvers are just not as good as a good pistol. They're far fucking better than shooting a fucking crappy piece of shit Lawson or your Taurus 40 Smith & Wesson that you leave in the safe all the time. Okay? And no, Henk Klopper, ammo does not make that big of a difference. Do you want to carry premium ammo in your self-defense firearm? Of course you do. You want to stack the odds in your favor as much as you possibly can. And it is a controllable. Hey, Crete, how's it going? Right? But ultimately, shit's going to make fucking holes in your target regardless of. Is it going to impart as much kinetic fucking energy in as a hollow point? No, it won't.
You said holes and hollow point. I'm about to lose what remains of my composure on the stream.
Okay, well, I'm gonna push you over the edge now because I've got something for you, and I'm gonna see if I can share my screen.
Oh dear.
We can see her search history. Watch the fucking numbers rise now. Everyone wants to see this. Hey, everyone, stay tuned in. We're gonna see.
I'm so riveted. I don't even want to go get a refill. Oh God, it's happening.
I can't shoot my dog at my Glock.
That is a real threat with whom I've got in the house. Hang on. What are your tabs? Oh, you don't even have anything controversial open.
Oh, she does. She's just got that on her DuckDuckGo. She's not letting us see
I
that.
closed all my tabs. I specifically made sure of that.
She knows that we'd screenshot the hell out of that.
Yeah. Hashtag replay. What now?
No, sorry. I was fucking just reading a comment.
No, that's like a very Alan Partridge thing to say. It's our audience abusing it. Just hello to Christos, and
Yes.
I presume that's how you pronounce it. And hello to you and Creek. And if you bump into Neil Asher,
Tell him he's awesome.
tell him he's awesome and buy his books and tell him to buy you a beer.
And
Probably will.
photos he's sharing of the kayak. Which one of you two is that?
That's mine. Hang on.
Is your tummy rumbling? Okay.
Okay. Hello, Brian.
Someone's gonna
It's
get
nice,
shot.
it's nice being here with you. No, I'm kidding. So I can't actually remember where we were going with this discussion. It was
Just take us to 226. End of story. Yeah, Christos. Except here's the thing, right? And this is my point. This is a point that I've made quite a few times. Is a SIG 226 a good gun? It's a fucking epically good gun. It really is. Okay. Unfortunately, if you're not wearing a uniform, a SIG 226 is fairly difficult to fucking carry all the time, right? A SIG 226 is, from the perspective of being an everyday carry gun, probably not as ergonomic to your lifestyle. In other words, something that'll make it easy for you to carry as a Glock 19. It is certainly not as good as a Glock 48 from that perspective, right? Again, Glock 48's probably got the fucking corner on the sweet spot right now. Single stack, 9mm, easy as shit to carry, thin, low profile, great to shoot, and you can train the ever-living fuck out of the thing. And you're not going to feel bad about it because it's a Glock. It's built to take it, right? A Glock is like the pistol built to be a sub. You can bondage it and beat the fuck out of it, and it'll just come back for more. And thank you for doing it. Rick loves Glock for that exact reason.
We were
I
just
think I
talking
might have
about.
to go and
We were
sit
talking about
outside
bondage.
because it's a
Ooh,
lot
look at
cooler
that
outside.
Exactly. She perks up.
We were just talking about tying things up and beating them while you were away. But
I just said bondage. Why are you repeating that with a longer sentence? It's very inefficient of you. What are you?
I know,
shooting
but
at?
I'm an inefficient man. And there was something else
Yes,
about the
good.
whole.
That's been established.
Oh God, I'm never going to live that
Oh, a
down.
Sig P365 is a great gun, bro. It really is. Sorry.
Hang on, wait a second. Oh, but remember, Christos is in the military, so. But
Yeah.
so that context is everything, and it's important. But my Glock is the one thing I would try to avoid locking up.
Don't lie, Rick. Don't lie. Don't lie. We know you better than that.
Yeah,
But
we
yes,
did
you don't lock it in the safe. I'm not saying safe.
No, Rick doesn't lock things up safely.
Anywho. Okay.
Anywho,
Now that
moving
we've
on
taken the
swiftly.
conversation in that direction.
Hello,
Broom.
Mark.
Oh, hello, Mark.
That's actually a pretty decent summary.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna.
I'm sorry.
Mark, why
I'm
did
sorry,
you
let's
come
back to
here
that, Mark.
and
The
make
32
Brian
ACP
angry
fucking
again?
pinfired revolver is not better than a pointy stick. It's not. It's
It
not.
is.
It
It
is
is.
not. A 32
How much
is-
ACP pinfired revolver is a piece of shit that's probably not going to work anyway. I'd rather have the pointy stick, and if Mark was attacking me, put a spider on the pointy stick because then he'd run away like a bitch because he's scared of spiders.
Yeah, but if you can shoot somebody through the eye, then you don't need him to come that close.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just took this
Pointy
entire thing in my
sticks
head.
can break.
If you can is the big fucking word. If the fucking gun is going to work. If you're going to hit anything with the utterly crap fucking things, and then if it's actually going to do anything to them.
Listen,
There's a whole
the only
fucking
problem,
bunch of
the only
ifs.
problem I've ever had with a revolver was the Freedom Arms .22, and that is after we maybe put like 500,000 rounds through it.
Yeah, but that's a
Then
tutu. Tutu is
The
something
hammer spring broke. That's it. That's the only problem I ever had with a revolver.
I like spiders, Mark. Tutu is different. I told you. People invest time, effort, and energy into Tutu platforms. People don't give a fuck about 32 ACP or 25, whatever the fuck. Who cares?
Well,
Who
this is
fucking
true.
cares?
But
Except
we
for the
still have
tickets to carry them.
we still have people that come and want to buy them, and the problem is I forget that there are calibers that exist, and they're like, "Do you have ammunition for this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I will have to
Someone
go.
come for a 9
I
by
will
21 yet.
I'll have to go behind into the vault and check." And then I go and then lo and behold, we actually have like 3 packets of it. And it's always priced cuck expensive because it's such niche ammo.
And
So
then
you
what?
are-
If it's finished, the guy took it to the shooting range, he shot 150 rounds, then it's done. It's gone.
What is Brew whining about? So the Brew's whining about, dude, fucking Brew, get it into your head. We've said this like at least 50 times over the past 5 weeks. We all love SIG. Everyone, except for maybe Mareko, who's got the CZ fascination, but everybody else in the world loves SIG. The
Hey,
360
I'm pretty
is a
flexible when it
fucking
comes to
cool gun.
guns.
I don't know why you've got this inferiority complex about your 365. Okay,
Maybe he's
it is a
compensating.
brilliant gun. We like it, bro. We
And
do.
What I find interesting here is Marika is basically sitting here in his swimwear, and everyone in the comment section is shitting on you for being mean about the SIG P365. And I'm
When
just
I'm
here
not
going,
being mean about the
and I'm
CP,
just here going, can one of you just like take over and allow me to go get a refill? Because I'm getting
But you
thirsty.
can go because why did you kick you off so you can go?
Hang on,
Go.
wait. I just need my
You
stand.
keep on telling him to keep the fucking bottle here by him, by the desk. Boom, arm's reach.
Hang on. He just needs to come and sit here and be
Doesn't
comfy.
come.
He needs to be comfortable. There we go. And he needs to have his cap
Bang, all
on.
over. We can see it's a bukkake fucking target, right?
Yeah, no. There we
Got it
go.
in the face, took it in
Is
the
that
chest.
is that technically a hate speech?
No.
Okay, good. We, by the way, we're not allowed to say COVID is the biggest scam perpetrated on mankind, and that the vaccine is an underdeveloped piece of shit because our channel is going to get banned for that. By the way, 'Cause
Also,
that's what
it
they
makes
seem
you
to be-
sterile. Don't get
makes
the
you sterile.
vaccine, it makes you sterile.
And all hail, praise the altar of David Icke. I'll be right back.
And Hunter Biden doesn't like crack. God, this has got to be the last fucking one. I have fucking had a lot to drink tonight already. Nobody wears a tuxedo to go swimming. Well, that depends, Grant. I think you need to stop basing your experience upon or your perceptions upon the entire world. Nobody in your universe wears a tuxedo to go swimming. In El Presidente's universe, it's fucking required. If you want to go swimming with El Presidente, you've got to fucking look the part. Am I right or am I right?
You are definitely right.
Exactly that, Grant. So see, wake the fuck up, dude. If you want to go swimming with high class, high caliber, no pun intended, people, you best wear your fucking tuxedo, okay? Or bring a penguin. There's nanobots in the vaccine, and Epstein did not kill himself. All of them are probably true. Well, Epstein not killing himself is definitely true. I don't know about the nanobots. What do you think, El Presidente? Nanobots or not?
I think it's definitely maybe not in. I'm still not convinced that COVID is the big one. I think this is just like a test run to see how the world is going to react and stuff, because we've never had anything on this scale, and I think it will be pretty audacious for them to think it's going to work first time around. But I could be wrong.
I have questions for you.
I think the nanobots. I think the nanobots are maybe a bit of an overreach.
Well, Rick likes overreach and then Rick dropped. So
the sterility thing, I can understand that because they've done that, and the whole principle of getting a COVID pass it's in the works. So yes, your question.
I want you to speak to the science. Now, I think you and I are very much in agreement with this, but I want you to talk beyond me. Is that here we have this virus with its 99.96% survivability rate, okay, or a vaccine with a 95% efficacy rate.
And a 97% chance of making you sterile.
97%?
Yes.
Oh, dear Lord, that's epic. That's epic. I know a whole bunch of people who should take it right this second. But that aside, right? Who in their right minds looks at that and says, let me think. I contract this fucking thing naturally. It's, I've got a higher chance of actually developing immunity from it naturally than I do have by injecting this vaccine that's going to give me fucking limp dick. Which one should I go with? How does anyone look at this and say, yes, you know what? I want to be fucking flaccid and impotent for the rest of my life. Bring on that fucking vaccine.
And also, there was this thing that said the men can actually make the women infertile. So even if I didn't get the vaccine and I'm getting it on with my husband or my boyfriend or whatever, and he's had the vaccine like 5 years ago, he can actually make me infertile, according to the one study.
Okay.
That's pretty bad.
No, the dumb idiots that want the vaccine, they're doing their best for society by not breeding. So, thank you.
Can I ask a question? Does
Yes.
the infertility transferal work via mouth as well?
I don't think that was specific in the study.
Okay, it's a pity because they would just make the range of infertility that much widespread.
No, but what's really okay? So I had a chat to a friendly neighborhood doctor who's also on Twitter, quite vocal about this offline. And there is a study that he found where exactly. So he reckons the vaccine will work, but he also says he reckons the side effects are going to be off the charts. So the amount of vaccine-related injuries will just be ridiculous. He said already there were several incidents where one of the side effects was limb paralysis or paralysis of a limb that didn't resolve. Still hasn't resolved. So you could end up getting a shot for the Rona flu, and it's like, well, I've my arm's paralyzed, and
I'm a fucking quadriplegic now, or whatever.
The H1N1 vaccine gave people narcolepsy.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, especially if you've got a job where falling asleep could fucking kill you.
Oh, why would I want to take the chance of just falling asleep while driving?
And what vaccine was it? It was malaria, right? It wasn't a vaccine. It was a prophylaxis, right? That gave that had as one of its very widespread side effects chronic fatigue syndrome. I think it was the malaria one, right?
Yeah.
It was one of them. No. There we go. So Alan wants to know, is it a good idea to buy a 20-ounce wapen? Alan, I'm going to go for this in English. Gideon can translate it into Afrikaans, and then Marika can tell him, can sort of justify that. But yeah, it depends what you buy. It's like everything. Would you buy a second-hand Toyota Corolla? Abso-fucking-lutely. Right? Would you buy a second-hand Ford Focus? Maybe not so much. Would you buy a second-hand BMW M3 that's had the shit driven out of it by some fucking Asbo-wearing motherfucker who's on bail the whole time? No, maybe not. Okay. Buy Grandma's Toyota Corolla. Or in this case,
there's second-hand and there's holy guns. Guns that have had the health shot out of them.
Yeah.
So
here's a good rule of thumb. Sorry, Marika. If anyone's done any fucking non-standard
sorry, I'm being pushed off the couch by my dog, so I'm moving closer and closer to the camera
if anyone's done sort of non-standard upgrades or anything to it, trigger jobs and shit like that, no, don't get it. Sights, sure, but anything else, no, big no.
Unless you want it for a sport thing. You see, in silhouette shooting, almost all our guns are second, third, and fourth hand because those guns, you don't get them in South Africa. They're not being imported. So if you want a specific weapon, you're going to have to wait for somebody to retire from the sport and sell all his weapons, then you can get his guns. But then you actually know that you're getting a gun that's been looked after, that's been cleaned. You can trace the history, where if you something for self-defense or something that was like the 3-gun shooting that people have to shoot like regularly and put like 1,000 rounds through it a weekend. You're going to have to know because there's going to be some wear and tear on that. There's springs that's going to need replacing and all those things. But at the end of the day, it's still just parts that can be replaced. So there's actually nothing wrong with getting a second-hand weapon if you are prepared to put in the effort. If you know guns, if you can, field strip a gun, and you know the spares, and you know people that can get stuff for you, then by all means go for a second-hand gun. But if it's your first gun, maybe not. Unless it's really just somebody who bought his pistol and then immigrated and he's shot like five shots, then you can go for it.
I mean, listen, rule of thumb, what Marika's saying is 100% true. Rule of thumb, if you buy a secondhand gun, replace everything that you can, right? In terms of springs, all of the maintenance type of replaceables, all of the fungibles on the gun, replace them. Okay? Have a good look at the barrel. Okay? But know that with certain types of guns, you're going to have a lot more margin for error, should we call it.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't, unless I knew the person who owned it and did the upgrades, I would not buy a second-hand 1911 that had been extensively modified. I'd rather go and look for something as close to stock standard as possible. Unless it was modified again by a professional shop. Listen, if someone sold me a Wilson Combat fucking upgraded 1911, I'd be all over that like fucking Gideon on Pornhub or me on Pornhub, okay? Or Marika on
Brian.
Pornhub, okay? But, that's it. There's reputation and branding to go along with Wilson Combat, okay? Pete's fucking pistol repairs down by Brakpan, maybe not so much. You get where I'm going, okay? So you've got to be circumspect.
Well, I think that's pretty good consumer-related advice. It's also something we on that bombshell. We see a lot of pre-owned guns in retail. The good ones fly off the shelves very quickly. So to find a second-hand gun, difficult. A good one. This is also a thing someone said to me. Sure, it's not that difficult to find a good second-hand gun. To find a good second-hand gun, very difficult. They don't last. They get snapped up very quickly. So yeah, we literally have
also be careful that the guy, if you're buying privately, make sure the guy isn't, ripping you off.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories. If you buy privately, rather both go and pay the guy the money and have the gun checked into a dealership, into dealer stock where you then apply from. Don't let him keep it in his possession.
Yeah,
preferably.
and a dealer you trust, not a dealer he recommends. A dealer you trust. Pete Skid from Buckman hates me anyway, fucking Rick. Sorry, he's not from Buckman. He's from Pretoria somewhere. They're close to where Adrian's range is. He hates me. He hates me so much.
Who's Pete Skid?
Man, he used to be a reservist in one of those police stations out that side, and then he joined up and became a defective. He hates my guts so much.
Oh, okay. Well, he must take a number and get in line.
He should. It's a long fucking line. All the way from London to fucking Cape Town.
So with just to get into Jay's T-virus thing, okay, which I'm also disappointed that, but maybe if they start injecting people with a vaccine, they'll zombify. I'm hoping that happens.
We can at last shoot them.
But here's this thing that doesn't make sense to me, okay? If you have a productive process, whether it's research and development or whether it's actual manufacturing, regardless of how many resources you throw at a thing, there's an optimal level of production, development, whatever you get it. What doesn't make sense to me is how the fuck we understand that the minimum average time for a new vaccine development is 10 years. Okay, this has been extensively published in a whole bunch of places that it takes roughly a decade. How do we increase the vaccine development speed tenfold by like 1,000%? It's like, okay, cool. Like it's 8 months down the line, we've got a vaccine. Not just money. You can throw a fuck ton of money.
No. I'm not talking about money throwing at money. Money people are taking out of it.
Okay,
yeah,
so
money and power.
Because two academics took issue with me asking this question. They're like, no, but a lot of red tape was removed out the process. I'm like, okay, firstly, any red tape that makes vaccine development take 10 times longer, why are we not aware of what this red tape is, and why has it never been an issue before, and why now all of a sudden is it? Because if you think about the costs that is to any pharmaceutical company, and what the cost amplifier is. Any red tape that's that destructive must surely be a matter of public fucking knowledge by now, because that's just fucking insane. I'm sorry, you can't tell me, oh, we took some red tape away and the speed of everything increased 10 times. That's not how shit works. So corners are obviously cut to a huge extent. It has to be. So either they're lying about the fucking shortcuts they're taking, or if you're a total conspiracy theorist, they had the vaccine fucking ready on the back burner for fucking coronavirus outbreak because they knew it was coming. And miracle cures here. I don't quite believe that. I'm not quite there. But to be honest, I've seen so much crazy shit this year that anything is really fucking possible. So I don't know. What do you like? What's your opinions? How nuts am I?
If you cut red tape during a time of crisis, is the red tape really necessary in a time of not crisis?
Yeah. And how much red tape is there?
Why does it take 10 years to develop a vaccine? I mean, the research is already there. They know how to do it. They do their little injections on viruses and whatever, but the red tape is the FDA approval. And getting it through all the experimental stages and all those things. And you must fill in this paperwork and present it to that committee and. That's why it's taking so long. You can see every zombie apocalyptic there's a virus on the loose kind of movie. They don't bother with FDA approval. They just go for it.
Yeah.
It's genuinely not at all realistic. And the thing that they tell you is that we don't have a vaccine. We don't have enough source material. We don't have enough blood. We can't do this. We can't do that. So, yeah, and coronavirus has been around for a long time. So, if they don't even have a vaccine for a normal whatever coronavirus, I don't even think there's one for SARS yet.
So we don't have anything for. Yeah.
So I'm going to be a little bit cynical here, but I want to give some context to my cynicality first, right? So number one, let's look at what the FDA is. The FDA is an administrative organization, right? That Marika is 100% correct. That 10 years is an arbitrary fucking number. It's based on what they will allow or what they will consider and how long it takes to go through their administrative process, right? Whether that administrative process has anything to do with the efficacy of the actual element or the actual vaccine or the actual medicine is moot, okay? That administrative process is just how long they take to decide that they will allow X, Y, and Z. Now, there's plenty.
Not entirely.
Well, not entirely, but majority.
I've got the timeline for you. Can I quickly read it to you? Just quickly.
Of course you can.
Okay. So the 5
get even more shit.
Yeah, so the 5 stages of vaccine development, as published, is stage 1 discovery research. It usually takes 2 to 5 years, resulting in up to 100 potential vaccines. Then the next is roughly 2.
Sorry, can I chip in as you go through each one?
Yep.
Discovery research. They're researching the family of coronaviruses. They've been known and recognized for well over 100 years. So, let's just put the fucking pin in that. But go on. Okay,
then preclinical trials, 2 years, resulting in potentially 20 vaccines. Okay, from that.
Okay.
Then clinical development is phase 3 regarding is it safe in big, bold letters. 1 to 2 years, narrowing that down to about 20 potential vaccines. Then after the clinical development phases, phase 2 is does it activate an immune response? Another 2 to 3 years, which usually leaves about 5 vaccines over. And then phase 3, does it protect against the disease? 2 to 4 years, leaving 1 potential vaccine. Then phase 4, regulatory review and approval, only takes 1 to 2 years.
Okay,
and
so
then the manufacturing.
That's the one we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a whole lot of shit there that that's already been covered in terms of the longevity of the coronavirus in terms of its family of viruses. In terms of the COVID-19 specific strain of coronaviruses, I don't think it's that different from any other coronavirus, to be quite frankly, fucking brutally honest. Okay, so a lot of those timelines you said are irrelevant because they've been covered. Okay, coronaviruses have been researched ad nauseum for a whole shitload fucking longer than 50 years already. Okay. Yeah. And COVID-19 is probably no very different from COVID, whatever the fuck else you want to call it. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, come on. Between the three of us and everyone and the 45 people watching this right now, it's a fucking 93. Cold. 93. It's a fucking cold. Okay. For the vast, overwhelming 99.96% of the people, it's a fucking cold. Yes, for a fucking bunch of oldies and people who are sick anyway, it's serious, okay? And I'm sorry for them. I feel for them on an individual level. But as a general speaking level, it's a fucking cold.
We forgot about something is the fact that influenza and pneumonia kill these exact same people that we are freaking out about right now on an annual basis every single year. So, and has done so for...
This fucking gets to me because Snowflake discussion I had with Snowflake number 1,000,012 on social media. Oh no, I mustn't be so harsh on the oldies because the oldies are dying like flies. It's terrible.
But they're not.
But they're not. But let's not even get into that. Let's not even get into the fact that fucking social media twerpy Snowflake didn't give a flying fuck about oldies dying from anything else but coronavirus. When I spoke with Snowflake fucking Melty Bliksem Dickwad, he didn't care about oldies who were stuck in old age homes eating dog food in South Africa. Oh no, he doesn't give a flying fuck about that. All he wants to know about is fucking oldies dying from COVID-19 in some care home in England. Yeah. Okay? He doesn't give a flying fuck about oldies. He only cares about oldies who fit his fucking narrative. And that's what ticks me off, is the politicization of the cold.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen,
I know. Russia... Wait. I have one more fucking cynical point to raise. Why was the discovery of this fucking vaccine only announced? And this is cynical me. This is fucking tinfoil beanie wearing me after the US election results were kind of sort of maybe, is it him? Is it not? Is it him? Is it not? I don't fucking know. But it looks like Biden. Let's announce there's a fucking antidote or fucking vaccine.
No, but there's been a vaccine in the works before the election.
It was only announced. No one cares what was in the works. Everyone only cares what was fucking announced. Did you see what Pfizer's stock went and fucking did?
Well, did you see how much the CEO sold?
Yeah, Lord, I'm so glad I bought some.
The Pfizer CEO sold 50 million euros worth of his own company stock with a vaccine announcement. So, as Mike Schuessler said, is this a real vaccine or is this a PR exercise?
I bought some.
You should have sold some, you doers. You should have already had some.
I fucking sold them already. What the fuck do you think I'm hanging around with that shit? Price went up, buy low, sell fucking high. Gone. I made money.
Okay, that was good. That's actually good.
That's what this thing is about. It's money.
Yeah, fucking exactly. Right, and I made some, so there we go.
Well, you at least did. Like, Jesus Christ. And I just sorry, Jay, my headwinds are messy.
Oh, Jay, I've got to tell you one. Sorry, I'm going to tell Jay the story. He'll like this. So, Jay, we have this gang conflict in Mount Pleasant and Hermanus, right? And this one guy,
as you do in Mount Pleasant.
Well, Mount Pleasant and Houston, right? But the gangsters in Mount Pleasant hated the fucking gangsters in Houston, and all of them hated the gangsters from other areas, right? And now we have a new gang in South Africa. It's called the SAPS. But anyway, let's forget about that. In those days, right, the SAPS wasn't a gang. It was actually fairly fucking honest. So old Norman, he was a great guy. He really was. Norman was a 26 Boykie. And he got slotted by Ernie's lot, right? 28. And so my mom's doing the autopsy on Norman. Oh, he was such a classic guy when he was alive. But
that's such a morbid
so she's looking for this one fucking 45 round, and she can't find it. So eventually, she takes Norman's guts, all of them out. She puts them down on a like a rubber sheet down there in the mortuary, and she's going over his intestines with a fucking metal detector. It was epic to see. It really was. Sorry, this is so super disgusting, and I hope Norman's family never ever see this. But it was so interesting to watch that specific component of autopsy. It really was cool.
Going on about the autopsy, the fact we talk about vaccines being bad. How is this channel still up?
I have no idea. Money, power, and world dominance, apparently.
Mareike, you still with us?
No.
Mareike's in slow motion.
Yes.
Your internet's reaction to Brian's horrible story was no. Can we never ever do
No,
this?
I just had this expression on the whole time because
Mareike would enjoy autopsies. She's a fucking scientist. I know her. She's a gruesome fucking one as well. She would love that shit.
No.
Before you go, no. I know especially, right, a whole bunch of people who I never thought would get into the mystery of autopsy, who got so fucking into the mystery of autopsy. It's a fucking attractive field, finding out shit that you thought you didn't want to know, but you really do.
I'll give it a skip.
I'll take money on you'd get into it. I really would.
Not before the zombie apocalypse.
No, that bloated corpse and analyzing stomach contents and pumping the colon. No,
but it's not all the fucking bloated corpse shit, right? So there was one guy. No, listen to this. You'll like this one. It's a funny one. So he wanted to fucking get a uber fucking boner, right? So what he thought he'd do was he took his lamp and then he stripped the wires and he put one fucking strand around his dick and the other fucking strand around something that he put up his ass. And then he took the broomstick and he flicked the on switch. Man, the fucking expression on his face was, "Ooh, this is fucking."
Is that how you found him?
Well, it was caused by police who found him, but yeah, that's how I saw it.
Okay, but on this list of horrible stories, I've got one that was relayed to me.
Here's another question, right? No, Jay, here's the best part, right? Is when
I'm not seeing another question.
Shush. The forensic officers are doing their shit, right? And they have a whole bunch of medical students come in to do the autopsy review, right? And also the police students, and they do this intentionally as they have everything going, and they wait for a real Spurberger to come in. Spurberger is someone who's burnt to death. Okay, and they come in for the Spurberger to go, and then they cut them open and they have their sandwiches while they're doing the evisceration. Oh man, it's epic to see the fucking reaction of that lot. Sorry. Okay, go on.
No, it's supposed to. Mine's not entirely as bad. It's a case of. I think it happened in East London quite a few years ago. There was a guy who was into autoerotic asphyxiation, and what he did was he built a little, what do you call it? A little dungeon for himself in his garage, where he could string himself. He could position himself on a Stellasi on a little platform, and then he could choke himself while. But here's the thing, okay? In order to
choke himself while helping himself, yes.
Yeah. No, but he got the asphyxiation part sorted out, but it was the autoerotic part that was difficult. So in order to facilitate this, he went and he bought himself like a diving suit, narpaki thing, and he bought himself an orbital sander. And then he placed the orbital sander in back in the day when we still had banks that you went into the branch. You got those bank sockies, yeah? Effing beer, like cotton bank bags with the little thing on this. So he put the thing's head in the bank socky to cushion it, I suppose. And he slipped this contraption in the front of his narpaki that he then switched on. So it went and then he would choke himself out to, heart's content. Harder daddy. But something went horribly wrong this particular episode when he did this, and I think he lost his footing or something, and he then hung himself effectively, for real. And this is how he was found, was hanging from the rafters with the orbital sander in the front going in his narpaki. And this is obviously how the police found him as well. And they had someone had to
I
write a
can
report
imagine
on
the
this.
fucking commentary, but okay.
It must have been, those list of things that you'd like to die with a little bit of dignity, maybe if possible.
I would believe
Yeah.
you did.
So, well, that's one way to polish your knob.
Yeah, literally.
We have got to get Jay on the show. Jay, listen up, mate. You've got to make some time next week. Again, like I said, you can wear a mask so those dickheads you work for don't know who it is. But
We can
change your
organize
fucking name,
Jay.
though.
And we might have to organize him a speech thing where he talks like he's a sex predator that's been given, You remember those TV shows where they used to interview like the survivors of rapists, and they would make this.
I'm Batman. Let's get him frozen again. Hello.
Don't speak this.
Oh, idiot. How can you do that to yourself?
What? Where did I freeze?
Those
People
rapists.
doing interviews with rape survivors.
And I just went bye.
Yes.
Oh joy. Okay, but serious question to you guys in the audience: like, how's your Friday night? How much more do you want us to go on? And if the answer is yes, you want us to, my heart will go on and on and on, like the fucking Celine Dion sign that never dies.
Awesome, Jay. Jay's in. He says he's in.
Okay, cool. All right, excellent. We shall.
Let's try and get Yed on as well.
What
Because I tell you what,
does
that
Jay do
fucking
that
got
it
some
should be
stories
top
to tell.
secret?
The what?
What does Jay do that people can't know that it's him?
He's a cop. He works for forensics.
Oh, we'll block out his name and change his voice, and we'll just say it's somebody from the CSIR.
Yeah, we'll do all of that fucking shit.
Okay, so Rick
We
is
also
like,
gotta
no.
get Yed on. He's got some fucking epic stories. I'll tell you something that's quite honestly. So there's like characterizations of policing, and Yed was a policeman in Durban or in Natal in general. I'll let him tell you which units he worked for specifically. But so sort of characterizations. If you were a policeman in Pretoria, you best know fucking rules, regulations in the book, because they suck cock and did the fucking bookwork like no one else, right? Head office was there and you fucking made sure that the book was fucking everything. If you were in Durban or in Natal in general, you best know how to shoot, because that would characterize your fucking policing career. You would be shooting more than anything else. I think at one stage there were more shooting incidents in Durban than there were during the entire Iraq fucking war. Okay? Those fuckers knew how to fucking party and they knew how to gunfight. Okay? And if you want to be a policeman in the Western Cape, you better fucking not be scared of fighting, because you would fight for everything. You want to give someone a fucking fine for littering the street? be prepared to fucking stand behind your fist to give them a fine for littering in the street. Because those people in Cape Town, they will fight at the drop of a fucking hat, especially about their cars. Okay? So yeah, we should definitely get Yed on because there's some super epic fucking cop stories in
He
that
says
man's
he
brain.
pleads the fifth, and I think we lost Marika.
No, fuck off with your fifth pleading. Nah, fucking drink whiskey and have curry and come and chat shit.
And the cops did do pretty damn well in Brackenfell today. I have to give them props for that.
One fucking time. One time. Where's Marika gone? She
We
don't want to
lost
talk about the
Marika's
cops.
connection. No, she froze, but she'll hopefully
Okay.
be back soon.
Cops in Brackenfell today. There was one fucking time, right? To use the Afrikaans expression, elke swalk het 'n fucking swimmer. I will say this: public order policing in the Western Cape is fucking led by a fucking coward of fucking note. Okay, he's a piece of shit fucking coward. I wouldn't trust him. Maybe he had a bad day and he was off sick, and his third in command was running the show. Maybe that's the only reason. But still, the court order said 100 people, and they were still quite happy until fucking 2,000 people pitched up. Now my maths is pretty fucking good, and I'll tell you, there's a big fucking difference between 100 of those cunts and 2,000 of them. And the fact that they grew from 100 to 2,000.
Hello, Marika.
Hello, I have no idea what happened.
Right. So they did okay. They did not do well. If they did well, they wouldn't have let them go to 110. Never mind 2,000.
Well, this is true. But look, at least it proves that the will to do shit is there. The question should be, why isn't it there all the time? Why is it
proved
selective?
that some of those cops on the ground were prepared to do their fucking job for a change. And they were prepared to disregard their stupid idiot fucking wanker commander. What? Who was, anyway.
Why did we? What did your connection do a Gideon, Marika?
I think I might have run out of airtime.
Let me put you back where you were. Hang on.
No, I like being in the middle.
Oh, okay. Then we have to do
Middle with
that.
little.
There we go.
Yay! It's a Marika sandwich.
And it is just right on time for us to go down that alleyway. Ha 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 ha. What on
Stunts
earth?
are always epic, Rick. They are always epic.
What on earth is Yed asking me to do? Hot toddy.
He wants you to drink. He wants you to drink. He says you're not drinking enough.
Well, I'm
I
coughing
will.
my
Sorry,
lights out.
I will tell. Listen, I mean, we're going on about characters that we know and a whole lot of people don't know. Red is an Yed. Fucking Red. Yed is an absolutely epic guy. He is a brother without a fucking doubt. And if anybody here wants to have the best curry they've ever tasted, get to know him and ask him to cook it for you. Because holy fuck, he can do that well. He can do a whole shitload of stuff well, but he can do that well.
Do a good curry very well.
Oh, fuck. It's good. He can shoot well, and he's tough as fucking nails.
We actually need
But
to
he
ask
makes good
like
curry.
the serious penetrating questions though. Marika, what do you cook well?
We should do a cooking show.
We should do.
Well, I
whiskey
can read,
by
so
that
anything with a recipe. I do a nice bobotie.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a very good one.
I can do
My wife made me
some
cookie the other day.
oven baked chicken.
Mhm.
And I've got
Oven-baked
this
chicken and
ostrich goulash thing with sherry.
Ostrich goulash.
Yeah, I don't like
Yes.
ostrich. I'm not a
Why
fan
do
of
you
ostrich.
not like? No, ostrich is pretty cool though.
No, it doesn't taste lekker. For
It
me.
doesn't taste. It doesn't taste like anything you think it does. It doesn't taste like fowl, and it doesn't taste like game. It's its
There are
own.
two things
Somewhere,
I don't
somewhere
like
in
the taste
between.
Yeah.
There are two things I don't like the taste of. It's ostrich and crocodile. I don't like them.
I don't recall
It's a
I ever
personal
had
thing.
crocodile.
Listen, I'll stand up and say fully. That's it's a subjective opinion. I just don't like them. It's a me thing. I like camel. I like goat.
Okay, what do you cook well?
What do I cook well? I cook steak well. You know this.
Yeah, you do actually.
I cook rib well. You know this too.
Yes.
I'm very good with sausage. You know this as well.
Yes.
I make excellent.
I'm
potjie.
sorry. I'm trying not to laugh at that.
What? I am good with making sausage.
Oh no, you said you were good with sausage.
I am good
didn't
with the
say-
sausage, but I'm good making sausage. I
Okay.
make very good potjie course. You haven't had? No, you have had my potjie course.
Have I? Oh, but
don't
Grant's here for the guns. Sorry, Grant.
Oh, sorry,
Grant,
Grant.
Grant is late. We've had discussions about guns.
And then, sorry, the other things I cook really well are Asian food, right? So, and when I say Asian, I'm talking about a little bit east of where Yed is, right? So I can do really good fucking egg fried rice and chicken soup with all that sort of stuff. Chow mein I can do.
Robert is praying that we please don't do a cooking show.
No, we've got to do. I think a cooking show is an epic idea.
Can we do it in aprons?
But just aprons. Aprons and nothing else.
Why is Gideon muted?
No, the new world or you
Oh,
muted
sorry.
him.
No, I
The
muted
new world
myself.
order says
Um,
people must stop eating meat. That'll never happen.
They
Right.
do. They did say that they're going to feed us soy and yeast.
Yeah, but that's fucking what's that president of fucking Canada? I don't think anyone really takes him seriously anymore. Right? I don't think you can actually get to the human animal at an animalistic level and convince them that eating meat is not part of the human experience in a general sense.
Well, I mean, the thing is that people also understand. We're going about the Great Reset. The Great Reset exists nowhere else outside the Western world. The Russians aren't interested in it. The Eastern Europeans aren't interested in it. The Asia isn't interested. The Japanese
Fucking
might
never
be
interested in that.
simply because the Japanese love bad ideas a lot of the time.
No,
Um,
no, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay, so they might not
You
be in
will
on it.
never ever convince the Japanese, certainly in my opinion and my experience, to give away inherent property ownership to that level. No,
Yeah.
I
So
don't see that.
I mean, the World Economic Forum goes on with, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. It's like, I don't think how you guys understand how shit works. All you do, you're just pushing an agenda.
I don't
Which
think
was
the
a
World
truth.
Economic Forum understands how basic human psychology works.
No,
We
I
are
think they do.
hardwired for ownership. No, they don't.
No, they do, because Klaus Schwab said in his book that people will need to make a fundamental psychological shift in the way that they think about stuff. So they do know how the people think, and they do know how to manipulate the people.
Yeah, but I don't
This-
think people will make that shift, though.
They
That-
do.
but
They
you-
will.
Because
No,
people are.
Because convenient, but they're covered. They are decorating it with nice flowery language so that it's not as obvious as what you might see in the movies. I mean,
No.
the COVID pause and constant surveillance and all these things are covered in the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which
Yeah.
sounds nice. I mean, who doesn't want an automated house? We've got Alexa and Siri and Google Home and smartwatches and smartphones. We're already halfway there. It's just one extra step.
One question, though.
And people like
One
it. People like being convenienced. They don't like being
But-
inconvenienced, so they will pay and they will make certain sacrifices so as to be not inconvenienced.
But that's kind of making my point, right? Because if people are governed by consumerism is based on ownership of something.
Not always. So here's where it gets tricky.
It is always, though.
No, let me.
How fleeting it might be, consumerism is inherently about I have something that no one else has and I will enjoy it, however fleeting. It's based on owning.
Yeah.
something.
But
Consuming
socialism is going in the opposite direction. Socialism is saying you don't have to own something to be happy.
and
You
Graham,
can
the great
share
reset
things.
is
You can
not
share
rolling over.
things to be happy. You don't
Sorry,
need
I
property to be happy. You don't need money to be happy.
I
We're
just
going
want
to
make
take
one
care of
point.
you.
I just want to make one point. I chat with people in China every single day. Okay, people who I work with, friends with, etc. But most importantly, people who I look to for objective opinions of what the state of the market is there. China is more involved about ownership than anybody, well, not anybody else, but as much as anybody else, right? I'll tell you something that the people I talk to take pride in the fact that they drive Toyota Prados and that they drive Mercedes and that they have status above other people because of what they own. Okay, this is China. Okay, these are real decision makers and action creators in the China market space, and they are so aware of what capitalism is and the benefits that capitalism brings that it is scary to the point where I am. And Gideon, who knows me very, very well, will know that I am as libertarian as you could possibly get. Okay. And I am so libertarian that I'm actually slightly left of center. If we were talking Spanish Civil War, I would be out there, fighting fucking the republicanism because they were trying to take away people's freedoms. But I am scared, wrong word. I am surprised by how capitalist orientated the people who I talk with, again, on a daily basis in the Chinese market, who are absolutely infatuated with capitalism.
No, I believe that might be very well the case, but here's the other side of the argument. So there's kind of been a Western war on owning private transportation. The argument is, our major cities are too crowded, the things pollute too much. So you don't need to own a car. You can use public transport and rent a ride via Uber or Lyft or whatever. So that's kind of becoming the thing where as Marika says, it becomes a convenience-like angle. So you don't actually own your own transportation. Then it's an issue of, you don't want to own a property to live in because of the issues of maintenance and selling and blah, blah. It makes more sense to rent. There's a whole bunch of things where you do own stuff ultimately, but you own less and less of it, which as long as you're productive and you're earning income, you can service it, you can. And don't frown, bro. This is a real fucking thing. These are genuine fucking things that are pushed down people's throats permanently, especially.
No, I'll get that, but Uber's a dying model. Why would you take Uber? I mean, it's a model
replaced by something else. It'll also be ride sharing.
Peak, and the next model is going to be less of a peak than Uber, right? People have looked at the Uber example and what's the other one? The Z cars or something, right? Where you fucking part ownership a car, and people have decided, no, fuck that. I want my own fucking car because I want to invest in it and I want to fucking drop it and lower it and do whatever the fuck I want with it. But I want to have that car be representation of me as a person, right? And I think you misunderestimate the fucking want for that level of individualism in the European markets. Okay.
Okay, but look at the city of London as an example.
Yeah, but the city of London is two concepts. The city of London is what the TfL and fucking Sadiq Khan and all of them say it is. And then the city of London is what the people who live in London say it is. And those are two very, 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 very fucking different things. Okay, and do realize that the city of London, when represented by the people who actually live in London, okay, it's not about, I will just fucking give. No, fuck that. The people who live in the city of London, they want their Range Rovers and their Land Rovers and their Rolls Royces and their fucking off-street parking and all that sort of shit. They want that. They want private ownership of their homes. the City of London, when represented by the people who live in London, is one thing. And it's far more capitalistic than people would give it credit for. Here's one thing that I've discovered since moving to the United Kingdom is our understanding of the United Kingdom and its so-called soft cock nanny state mentality is what's represented by the BBC and the governmental organizations. But the actual people who live here, it's a far different England and a far different London or whatever city you want to put into that space. Yes, laugh at me. I know I've had a little bit too much to drink, but it is one of those.
I'm laughing at Graham.
Okay,
but I will laugh at you anyway.
No, Graham. I'm gonna take not issue with the fact, but bring up Graham's comments. Londonistan.
I did.
No, hang on. I'll tell you.
But Brian needs to read it again because he forgets what he reads.
Brian forgets a lot of things, but hang on. Londonistan. I'll tell you that my neighbors here from Pakistan, they're awesome people. I really, really, really enjoy my neighbors down the road. But I will tell you something, that they're more aware of freedom and freedom loving than most other people I know. Okay? So just be careful that the people who've moved here from Londonistan or to Londonistan from Pakistan have moved here with the realization there was pretty shit where they came from. And they moved here with a reason. Okay? Don't, for a second, invest into the image that the BBC and the media portrays as reflective of what is actually on the ground here. The people here in general really, really, really like their freedom. And let me give you an example, a very, very practical one. So we've been in lockdown since when have we been in lockdown here, Gideon? You followed this
since the
end of March.
End of March, somewhere.
No. Yeah, we've had our second lockdown.
Oh, right? In the UK, since about the same time.
Okay, and this might give you the idea that the overwhelming majority of people don't have a fucking clue because it hasn't changed anybody's lives. Aside from going to the pub to sit down in the pub, that is like the only thing that has changed. No one here has cared about the fact that Boris has announced a lockdown. Everybody still visits whoever they visit. Everybody still does whatever they did before the lockdown. Right? And this concept of freedom is driven by people from Pakistan, from wherever in India, from wherever in Africa, from wherever. And they've just decided, fuck it, I'm going to do what I do because I'm a free fucking person. Okay? And that's the way it is right here. Right? No one gives a fuck about whatever the government says. Despite the fact what the BBC says. Who cares what the BBC says? The BBC is not representative of the UK. Neither is ITV or whatever. That's a small minority of people, just as it is in South Africa. Who cares what the ANC says? The ANC does not represent South Africans.
The question is, are they going to try? And I don't think they are, because it's like putting us into a pre-Christmas lockdown. There's no scientific reason for it, but that's not exactly stopped them before. So
Boris loves the sage so much he'll suck whoever's cock. So who cares?
No. I don't give a fuck about what he does to you in the UK. I mean, like they can cancel Christmas and send the Jack Skellington to bring you your presents.
Christmas. Apparently, the thing is, after Christmas there's going to be a lockdown, but it's not going to mean anything to anyone except those poor business owners like the gyms, right? He's going to fuck them again, and the coffee shops and. People who want to earn honest livings.
Well, our hotel industry is definitely broken in this country. I don't think it's going to recover.
Graham, you haven't triggered me. I love this. Graham, when you get to know me one day, ask Gideon. I love this. I live for this shit.
He does, actually. Very much so. Well, Brian can blah, 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 blah. Brian can buy Graham a steak. That was a bit of a tongue twister.
Brian can buy Graham a steak.
Yes.
Come over here, Graham. I will buy you a
stop any.
steak.
Yes, like if you stop anywhere in that sentence, like awkwardly, it changes the entire context.
Well, we would go to visit you, but I'm not getting a COVID test. So until that thing is not mandatory, I'm not going anywhere.
Not mandatory. Where does it come around? So
It is.
British
It
Airways
is
and
from
American Airways have decided to do it.
South Africa overseas. You need a negative COVID test.
Yeah, it's a South African thing. It's not a British thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
it is
still.
for us. So I'm not leaving the country until that thing is no longer necessary.
Because they stick a thing up your nose. And to be honest, if Elon Musk can test positive twice and negative twice in the same day, that's a bit like
You will be
Elon Musk
completely
is fucking
healthy
epic.
until you get the test.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to put this out there. If there's anybody who I would like as world leader, it would be Elon Musk. I
it
think
would be
that would
interesting.
fucking epic.
It would be a very interesting time.
Forget Donald Trump. Elon Musk would be the ultimate fucking world leader. I really
The
think
only-
so.
The only thing I feel really bad about is about when PC Format was still a magazine. Who remembers? Who remembers that?
Yes. They give
Okay.
you the CD along with a bunch of drivers.
Yeah,
and demos.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go piss. I'll be back just now.
Yeah, go. Marika can catch you up. So when PC Format was still a magazine, they had a whole joke section about Bill Gates being the Antichrist, and as he ages and his hairline recedes, you see the number of the beast on his forehead, and blah blah blah. And I always thought that was funny. And now it's kind of becoming true. It's like
They
PC
warned
Format
us
called it.
years ago.
Warned us years ago. And thank you for the remedy, Steve. I actually am definitely going to do this before I go to bed because it's.
If you don't have
Yeah, the
brandy,
coughing.
whiskey will work as well.
I think the whiskey, and it was awesome. God, I missed that magazine. It actually went out of print not all that long ago.
Really?
I mean, so many magazines are just seeing their arse because everyone wants information for free on the internet and they don't want to pay for it, which is fine. I mean, I can't blame the newspapers for going under. They just are generally awful. So there is that. Joe Rogan for World Leader. That's like he can be Secretary of State. That
PC
should be
Format
interesting.
stopped 5 years ago in 2015.
Oh gosh, that long.
Wow, they started in 1991 and they died in 2015. That's so sad.
That's very sad.
That is
Mad
so
Magazine
sad.
also saw its bum.
Is Nag still going? Nag should still be going.
I think they were.
Nag is
Are
going, looks like.
they still going?
And they uploaded all their magazines. Nag
They did?
magazine is no more. What? No,
Mad Magazine.
No, Nag. Nag,
Oh,
the
Nag.
computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they?
New
Are,
Age
are they?
Gaming.
Are they done?
It
Really?
looks like it, yes.
But they have a website that still seems to work.
Yeah, maybe the magazine is out of print. The physical magazine, maybe they're still doing thing. I missed the magazines and free DVD. No, it looks like it's done. Nag is done. Wow.
Yes, like okay. So, are there any magazines I like that are still going? Well, except for the Spectator, but they've been going for like 200 years. Fuck. Okay.
I'm sad
This-
now.
Yeah, I'm also quite depressed now. When did they actually go out of print?
Also 2015.
The same year.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's see if Mad Magazine is still going.
Oh,
Ma-
that was cool.
The Mad
I love
Magazine went defunct in 2018.
Yeah, it did.
What was your favorite part of Mad?
I can't remember. It
I
was
have-
all
I
pretty
have
fun.
I have one Mad
Oh, yes.
magazine, and it was the Phantom Menace edition.
Why does
Also,
that not
the-
surprise me?
I was just fine.
Did you guys know that in Canada you can still buy porn magazines at the local gas station off the rack,
Really?
just like that?
Why would they do that?
Because it's Canada.
Yeah, but who still reads porn magazines? That's
Canadians?
People
your
that
phone.
don't have teenage
on your
boys
phone.
whose mom blocked the Wi-Fi password.
Listen,
Data is expensive in Canada. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you're kind of screwed.
teenage boys know how to hack the Wi-Fi. Doesn't matter what you do to block it.
No, but see,
fuck is
they've
all
got
going on
they have the market for the stupid teenage boys. Okay, there's lots of those. Most of them.
I've moved over to Bourbon. I'm going to be as hungover as fuck tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you definitely are. I'm still trying to get some exercise tomorrow.
I'm still going to fucking do a workout tomorrow morning.
Marika
unlike
is
some
working
other
tomorrow,
hungover
isn't
friends.
she?
Marika is on holiday.
Oh, good.
Okay, Scope magazine still seems to be going.
No, it's not. Scope magazine was awesome. They used to have great fucking centerfolds. And
Oh,
then
Oh,
there's
it
good
was.
articles too.
Hmm.
I used to love the fucking military articles that they used to do in Scope. You know,
They
you'd go.
lasted 30 years. Wow.
Yeah.
From 1966 to 1996.
Yeah, but who was the editor of Scope? He was like this fucking weak version of Larry Flint. We tried to be this weak version of Larry Flint. And all of them just wanted to, all of them looked at Hugh Hefner and they were like, oh, I want to be you, dude. Because Hugh Hefner is fucking epic. I mean, come on. Hugh Hefner lived the life every single person
when did he
wanted.
die?
It was fairly
Yeah,
recently, I think.
Hustler is still going.
Yeah, that's Larry Flint. But yeah.
Why am I looking at these things?
Oh no, because but ladies and gentlemen, I know we're coming up 2 hours. My puppy is restless. I'm coughing my lungs out, and I should probably go to take my cough
You have the
medicine.
COVID.
Are you guys happy if we call it quits for this Friday night and
Yeah,
go
okay.
drink some more? Am I being horrible?
The
You can
Brew
carry on
Love
without me.
Scope
While
is
Marika's
having
hosting,
so-
like you can literally kick me off and say bye, Gideon, fuck off, and carry on without me.
Well, but so you can also just leave.
I can, but where's the fun in that?
But you know us, we'll never be the fucking one person to ditch the shit.
No, that's the thing.
But on that bombshell, right? I think everyone's pretty much had their Friday night. It was fun. Heinz
It was
is
fun.
right.
I
was
enjoyed it.
fun.
It was a lot of
Okay.
fun. Thank you, Heinz.
We will have more fun next week, Friday night. So tune in, watch us get epically fucking shit-faced again.
That was supposed to be tonight because next week, Saturday, I'm back at work.
Okay. But she will still get epically fucking shit-faced because that's how she
No.
rolls. Yes, she will.
No.
Don't worry.
Yep.
If it wasn't
But
going to
if-
happen tonight, it's not going to happen next week. Sorry.
And
but
Rick
also-
said the magic fucking word. Rick said freedom. Everyone blame Rick. We've got to go now. Rick's
Hang
called
on.
it.
Hang on, I've got someone who's waving at the audience. There we go.
Aw.
Because
Hello,
all we can see is
Paulie.
the foot. You got to pivot it a little bit.
hey,
So FYI, we can discuss this next week. But I'm looking at adopting a former guide dog.
Oh, that's nice.
awesome!
Yes.
And Marika
I
and I
think
will
I
have to
will-
talk business next week. But I might have
I'm
to talk
not-
to you.
No, we can
All
talk business when I'm coming down to the Cape.
Okay,
Okay. But
Nog beter.
everyone, hold times for me because my name's on the list to adopt a guide dog. I'm really looking forward to it. My kids are really looking forward to it. And next week, hopefully, we'll have Jay on the show,
Yes.
right? Because
No, we
I think
just have a guy that's working for the CSIR.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some-
the guy.
Some dude. Some nameless person. Well, it could be someone who self-identifies as an attack helicopter.
Indeed.
Oh, we're having an Apache. Oh, that's fantastic.
Or someone who self-identifies as a Bunsen burner. There we So next week we will have someone who self-identifies as a Bunsen burner and may or may not get it off on watching corpses be dissected.
Yeah.
Tune in for that.
And by the way, you guys had your chance to see more of Marika but it would have been a super chat at least. At least.
Yes.
Like, this is not a
No
cheap
super
show.
chats, no bikini.
Like we don't pimp Marika out for little money. We have
Yes.
standards. Yeah.
Super chats. Rick, am I going to take my guide dog skydiving? Maybe.
I told the brew he can't pay the deposit, so he's not getting investments into my assets.
No.
Nothing
You
in
don't see-
Marika's ass.
You don't see any capital growth there, the brew. Sorry. En op daai bomskok. Maha.
Jay, send us an
Um,
email, Jay. Gideon.what.gd at something.
If you like getting banged hard, you should wear red and go to Brackenfell. That's
You have
my
Jay's address.
bombshell. No, but I'll
Okay.
find. But we're mates on we're mates on the Book of Faces. We'll
Gideon. Sorry, fucking Jay. Send us the Facebook message. I have had way too fucking much to drink. It's my turn to be shit.
I know. If I know this. Marika?
Stay classy, people.
Op nooit.